Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Hello, people.
Oh my gosh, we are back. We are back. We are back, sis. And we are back,
We are
folks.
back. We are back. We are back. It has been a longer hiatus than we thought it might be.
Right? Right? It's been about 3 years, right, sis? Since the
Yeah, yeah,
original The Introvert Sisters podcast, right?
yes. And so much has happened, right?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot has happened in between. But, first of all, I just want to say I am amazed and happy and humbled that we still have an audience, first of all, because,
Listen, I was
right?
amazed that even during this 3 year hiatus, people were still listening to the original episodes,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
People
Still.
have been listening, people have been downloading, people have been loyal and enjoying the content, the old content. And here we come with some brand new hot stuff, some fresh stuff for everybody. But yeah, but it has been 3 years. And as we all know, look, even in 6 months, a lot can happen, but it's been 3+ years. And so tell me, I mean, I know some of it, but tell our viewers and listeners what you have been up to in the interim, in the three
Oh,
years plus since we last actually recorded an episode. What you've been doing?
oh my gosh. And I want to say welcome to Missy and Toki. I see you in the house. Thanks for joining us live. Oh my gosh. So many things. So many things. I have entered a role, exited a role. I have started doing my own thing. I did some consultation on community setup. I set up the
Mhm.
Share Anti Racism community. The newsletter is still going strong. We're 6 years in nearly. Um,
Right.
what else? And I have been doing, which is, very timely, of course, I've been doing a lot more work to support my fellow introverts,
Hmm.
right? Of course, the thing that, and you can talk about this, sis, because as is it 6-time Anthem Award winner now? One of the interesting things that happened is
I want a few. I want a few.
just after we went on hiatus, the podcast won an Anthem Award.
Right.
Right?
And
Yeah.
that in itself was such a huge achievement because I think there's a part of us that still, we're two little girls from the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
There's a part of us, and I say that it's kind of true and kind of not. We are two girls from the Caribbean. Of course, we are very much global citizens. You are British born and have lived there for decades, right?
Yeah.
I'm Jamaica born, Barbados bred, lived in the US for decades, but still, we have never forgotten where we came from. And that forms
Absolutely.
our foundation. And so to be two girls from the Caribbean, to have won an Anthem Award is an enormous, gigantic accomplishment. And it kind of feels like, we were just kind of like doing this thing in our basement, so to speak. And it won this award, and people, loved what we were doing, and not just loved it, but respected it, admired it, appreciated it, saw value in it. And that really meant a lot. And like you said, to have it happen after we basically put down the mic.
I know, I know. There's an irony, but I am pleased with one thing, because one of the things that we never said the show had ended. We were
No.
always clear that it was a hiatus. We
Yes,
were
yes. We
always
just kind of
clear
like
that we
drifted
were
on out.
honoring, yes, we were honoring our energy, and we were going to come back when we were ready.
Mhm.
And 2026 is the year.
Yeah,
2026 is the year.
yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we're getting some lovely comments there as well.
Oh, yes, we have comments from Missy saying happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yes, Missy,
Yes.
absolutely. And Toki, thanks so much for joining us. Evan,
A
everybody
stalwart.
that is in the comments and celebrating with us, thank you so much. We're just
Yes,
happy to
absolutely,
be here with you.
absolutely. So
And
yes, and actually, come to think of
mhm,
it, it was around that time that I actually published "I'm Tired of Racism." It has
Right.
only just occurred to me because
Hmm.
we went on hiatus in October 2022 in Black History Month
Yes.
in the UK, which is the same month that I'm Tired of Racism came out, which has now won couple of awards, American Writing Awards finalist and Author Shout Gold Award.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes. And I'm sure many more are coming its way.
Many more are coming. And, you know, this year I'm going to be running a retreat for introverts in
Hmm.
Barbados because we know when you live in one of the best places for a vacation in the world, why would you have your retreat there?
Yeah.
And then what about you, though, Lisa? Because you have also had some significant accomplishments in that time.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
we just
thank
give
you. I
a
mean,
shout out to Space to Exhale, the book, the
thank you.
multi-awarded book? Tell us
Thank
about
you.
it.
Thank you. Yeah, I followed in my big sister's footsteps. I have to say, I am definitely the quintessential baby sister, and so my sister published a book, so I was like, I'm gonna publish a book too. So, but seriously, no, I published my first book, Space to Exhale, with Wiley. That was in 2025, and it has won. It's won a few awards, like eight,
I
nine,
mean,
somewhere around there.
yeah, somewhere around there. You're running out of fingers to count them on. Let's be clear. It has won a lot of awards.
It has, and that is mind-boggling to me, including two Anthem Awards, right? It's won a
Yeah.
bronze and a gold Anthem Award, so I'm excited about that. And in between there, there was the Great Exhale launch. There was so many other things that happened. So it's been a busy, busy season, busy but rewarding. But one of the things that I love about why we decided to take a hiatus is that we both have always believed in rest and balance. And it had gotten to the point where we were actually doing so much with the podcast and everything else that we could not balance everything in a healthy way and get rest. And so we
Absolutely.
decided that was one of the reasons why we decided to take a step back. You know what? We need some rest. We need to honor our introversion and honor our need to respect and restore our energy. And so that's one of the reasons why we took a temporary step back. But like you said, the goal was never to end it forever. The goal was always to come back when it was the right time, when we had the energy, when we had the capacity. And that's one of the things that this show is all about and our work is all about, right? Managing, being introverts in an authentic and healthy and happy way. So that was it.
Mhm.
That was us doing the work in an embodied fashion. So I'm actually very proud of us for that because listen, sometimes you take a break, right? And you come back harder and stronger and happier and more able to do what you're really meant to do. So yes.
I think so. And I think it's so interesting as well that so much of our work in the interim and so much of the work that we're focusing on now is about that rest, about that
Mhm.
restoration. The activism hasn't gone away, but it's also about honoring who we are as introverts and supporting others to have similar experiences. I mean, that is pretty much your whole book. That is what my introvert mentoring is about. That's what my
Yes.
retreat is about, you know. And so it's almost, that is a continuation. And for me, I feel like that is why now was the right time to bring the show back in a slightly different format. I don't know how you feel, sis.
Oh, absolutely. This is the time because and it also speaks to consistency, right?
Hmm.
This is what um we have been living and what we've been writing about, what we've been talking about, and we're just continuing in the same line just
Hmm.
in different ways, right? We're being consistent. So yes, my book is about that. Your retreat is about that, and we'll talk about the retreat later, probably maybe in another episode. We can dedicate
Yeah,
a full episode to it, because why do people even need retreats, especially introverts? That is its own topic, right? But I
indeed.
definitely think that this is the time, for us. And also, this is the time globally, because look at what is happening to and with Black people globally.
Oof.
We've had incidents, and we will get to those. We've had
We will
incidents.
get to those.
We will get to those. In the UK, there's a constant, ongoing series of incidences in the US,
Mhm.
and that are targeted mainly at people of color and Black people specifically. And it makes it stressful, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it's stressful just to be alive and trying to navigate everything that's happening. And it is even harder for people who are introverted, because we tend to have less capacity for dealing with things of that nature. And so this is the time. This is where people like us, because we are activists, right?
Yes.
And so this is where the activism part comes into it. We're activists. We step up now that we have more capacity and say, okay, how can we serve our community? How can we be there for our community? How can we create a safe container for people who
And how
need it?
can we model what introversion is all about and what it
Mm-hmm,
is not, and
mm-hmm.
what it is possible for us as introverts, and
Yes.
how we show up as introverts, as introverted Black women, because all aspects of those identities are important. And how do
Mm-hmm.
we show up and what do we model? And so
Yes.
I really feel like that is what we have been focusing on. And so it is the right time to say, okay, this is the time to come back.
This is
This
the
is the
time to
time
come
to
back.
build on the 78 episodes that we recorded of the original show.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes. It was interesting when we were rebuilding, right? Rebuilding and sort of like curating. Okay, what do we want to keep from the original version of this? And the original version is still on Spotify, but this is a brand new, like I said, brand new freshness. But we wanted to relaunch this and still have some content for people to interact with and respond to. So we curated some of our previous episodes, and they're there on our new Spotify channel, the Introvert Sisters Live. And so it was interesting going through all of those episodes and realizing how much we had done. It was
Yes.
a lot.
Yes. And
And
I
then no
certainly,
wonder we were
I
tired.
went, yeah, I have gone back to that as I have been building out the introvert support side of my business. I've often gone back to things that we talked about then. I
Right.
said, well, we covered a lot of things.
Hmm,
We
hmm.
covered a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and I
sorry, go
feel
ahead.
like, no, I was just going to say that, you know, you might wonder, okay, so you've covered so many things. What are you coming back with this time?
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
Which is a,
But there's
which is a
always
fair
something.
question. There is always something. And I think one of the key points that we made in the original show, which still stands today, is that, we're not one thing, we're not monoliths. All the aspects of our identity come into how we show up in the world. And so you will notice our new tagline. Those who have been around for a while will remember that we were originally two INFJs with a lot to say. We have evolved, and our new tagline is Quiet Minds, Loud Opinions. Hope you like it.
We love it. We love it. And we hope you
We
love it
love
too.
it. We do. We
But
do. We
even if
do.
you don't, we love it. And that's okay.
I'm pretty sure that we got some love for it in the chat. We did. We did.
Yay.
That was LinkedIn user. I don't know who that is. Maybe Linda, perhaps. I don't know. Who is LinkedIn user? We've had LinkedIn user as Linda. We've had LinkedIn user as Latrice. We've had lots of LinkedIn users.
Right, right, right.
LinkedIn is funny that way.
It is, it is. And I'm seeing Lisa Hampton, pleased to be among the queens of the Caribbean. I don't, is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I think it's both. Anyways,
Well, let's not
both.
even go there.
That's a whole linguistics thing that we're not going to get into now. Right. And Vanessa, happy that you're here. It's just is absolutely, absolutely wonderful. And so, yes, speaking of what are we going to talk about this time? We are going to talk, yes, in some ways, we're going to talk about some of the basics, and we're also going to talk about some new information, some information that maybe some of our new viewers and listeners have not heard about before, right? Our audience, as we've discovered over the 3 years, our audience is actually always growing. So there are always new listeners and new members of our audience. So these are the people that we'll be teaching some of the basics to. And for our OGs and our stalwarts, don't worry, we're coming up with some fresh hotness. So stay tuned for that. But today we're definitely starting with one of the basics that we get asked all the time, right? Like, what is the difference between introversion and shyness and social anxiety? Because people have a misconception, right, Sharon? They have
They
this
do.
misconception
They do.
that they're all the same thing. So
Yes.
talk to the
Yes.
people.
And
Why do you think
many
people think
introverts.
it's the same thing?
Yes, it's weird. But many introverts can relate to having been told they were shy at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I think because there are outward manifestations that overlap.
Yes.
But what's going on internally, I think, is very different.
Mm-hmm.
So as an introvert, that is a temperament, that is a personality. And it's, for me, it's about how you gain energy, how you restore or recharge energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the kind of stimulation or lack of stimulation that works best for you. So,
Exactly.
as an introvert, I recharge best in solitude. It does not mean I don't like people. It does not mean I lack confidence. It doesn't mean that I'm antisocial. I could be very social, but I am selectively social.
Yeah. I
You
will
want to
say
add
you're a
anything
lot
there,
more
sis?
social than I am. For sure. I mean, similarly to you, I am not, I would not classify myself fully as antisocial, but I'm definitely less social than you are. And then,
Yeah.
so that's introversion. And then shyness is something different. So shyness is a social hesitation that is rooted in the fear of being judged. And it's connected with self-consciousness, and it can affect you whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert. So it's about having anxiety in social situations, right? And wanting to
Absolutely.
retreat from them. So that's what shyness is, basically.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
moving on from there, you have social anxiety, which takes that anxiety to the next level, because that is a clinical condition that can be diagnosed, where people have an intense fear of negative evaluation. It can stop people from functioning on a day-to-day basis, and it can require additional care, additional support, and sometimes therapy. So there are actually three different things. Yeah.
Yeah, and there, like you said earlier, there can at times be overlap. Not, it depends on the situation, it depends on the context and so on. But definitely, like I said, introversion, like you said, I think, Sharon, introversion is a temperament trait. So
Yes.
this is how people are, I believe, people are born as introverts.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
We have a question here from Missy. It says, can it mean that we're bored and need higher frequency conversations? Well,
Listen, I believe so. I really believe so, because for me as an introvert, I do not do small talk. I'm not, listen, I'm not gonna lie. In the right context, I don't mind, engaging in a bit of like sharing some tea, right?
Yeah.
But in general, I'm not a fan of gossip. I don't want to be just, talking about people and bad talking people. I don't want to do that. I like high vibrational conversations. I want to leave conversations feeling inspired and happy and things of that nature.
Knowledgeable as well.
Yes.
I love conversations where I can learn something.
Yes.
And so I think, if you're thinking about what this looks like, what this difference looks like in practice, your person who suffers from social anxiety might well have gone to therapy or have medication possibly before going into a social setting.
Yes.
Your person who is shy will have difficulty perhaps talking to people, right? Not perhaps to the same level as the people who suffer from social anxiety. And the people who are introverts will show up and do what they need to do. They'll probably gravitate to a quiet corner. But
Yes.
at a certain point in the day, they will make a quiet exit and they will go home and lie in a dark room.
Yes. And I have done that for sure.
Oh, for sure. For
And
sure.
just to add to that, that's what a lot of people don't understand, right? Is that you and I are here doing this, which is something that we love. We love doing the podcast. We obviously love each other, love being in each other's company. So this is like the best of many worlds for us. And after this, the two of us are still going to need to take a break. So it's not about, in this case, it's not about being around people that you like or don't like or whatever. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has to do with your energy capacity and how your mind, your body, your cells, your soul manages energy and reacts to stimulus. That is really how it is. And speaking of reacting to stimulus, it's like for me there's probably also some overlap with autism as well. That's another topic. But bright lights, loud noises, things of that nature.
Yes.
If sometimes I go into, let's say, a store and they're playing the loud music and the lights are those bright, super bright white.
I know.
Lights, and I have to walk straight back out.
You can feel yourself becoming overstimulated, right?
Yeah.
So we have some questions coming in, sis. Roger is asking, how do introverts feel about leadership and being visible in leadership roles? I have no problem with visibility as long as I have time to rest afterwards and recharge. And, I think that introverts are actually very good leaders because of our deep thinking and processing skills, our listening skills. We have a very rich internal life. And that makes us able to be more empathetic in terms of how we interact with our colleagues. And, we are not the people that are going to be yap all the time. But when we do have something to contribute, it's going to be worth listening to.
Yes. Many introverts tend to have deep, meaningful contributions to make. Many of us tend to have gravitas. Many of us, as Sharon mentioned, because we know what it is like to feel excluded and overlooked. If, in the cases where, let's say, we're leading a team, we are very good at being people-focused leaders, leading with empathy. Right, leading with empathy.
Making extra efforts to include people, right?
Yes. And also, I just, as you can see, we're living it now. People often also think that being introverted means that all you do is cower in a dark corner somewhere, reading literature, right? Which, mind you, reading literature is not a bad thing. But again, Sharon and I are both introverts, and we are out here. This is us being visible.
Yes.
This is us being visible. Now, mind you,
it is.
If we had our choice to never do video, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure.
We probably would not, right?
But this is the world we live in, and so we have accepted it, and we're gonna deal with it and move on.
Yes. So we're capable of doing hard things. We're capable of being visible and being successful at being visible. We're capable of being out in the world and talking and interacting and educating and
absolutely
right, doing all those things successfully.
Prevent us from doing any of those things. I really see my introversion as a strength. I don't actually see it as a superpower, although I know some people do. It is so much a part of who I am that I don't see it as, I see it as integral to my being. And and it has strengths that I can draw on.
Yes.
We have another question, sis. I don't know if you want to take this one.
Can you read it for me? Yes, absolutely.
Evan is asking, what common mistakes do we make around introverts? He's an extrovert.
Yes. Asking us to come out of our shell. And I understand, in many cases, I do understand the intent behind it. Because to many extroverts, it probably looks, if we're sitting quietly, it probably looks like we're not having a good time, which is not necessarily the case. Not
No
necessarily. It
problem.
might be, but it might not be, right?
Yeah.
However, the constant pressure to, oh, you need to speak up more, you need to come out of your shell, you know, all of these things. In other words, why don't you behave more like me? Why don't you behave in a more extroverted fashion? That is very, it's very othering. And for me, it creates a sense of rejection. It creates feelings of rejection, and it does sometimes trigger anxiety for me. I don't know how you react to it, sis.
I wouldn't say probably more annoyance than anxiety, if I'm honest.
There's
It's
that
like
too.
just let people be people, okay?
Mm.
Let me be me. Let me be me.
Yeah.
I don't need to be more like you in order to be successful. There's no reason that we have to conform to these norms,
Hmm.
right? And I'm just gonna put the words white supremacy in there because that's where a lot of them come from. We have not lost any of our spice people, right? Because that's where a lot of these norms come from. This pressure to be other than you are.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I say no to that.
Yeah.
I say no
Yeah.
to that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I,
so let's see what else have we got there. Oh, Missy says I'm an ambivert, and I have actually had a lot of conversations with ambiverts who,
mhm.
they cross they cross the spectrum between the two personalities. They can be
Right.
out there, but then sometimes they go into their introverted half, and they need to have that recharge time. You know, so yeah, for sure. We get it. Oh, let's see who we got. Ah, it's Mitch. Hi, Mitch. Glad you're here. Okay. Do any of you ever feel like you're empaths? Oh, Lisa, for sure.
I like how you're
I
like, yeah,
no,
Lisa.
yeah. I mean, I am actually very empathetic. But if I had to do, but I don't describe myself as an empath. Where I think you are definitely one.
Yeah. I think I'm an empath, um, for sure. For people, for animals, you name it. I'm always thinking,
Mhm.
how can I improve a situation? How can I help someone feel better? I kind of, back in the day when people would use hot water bottles for comfort. Sometimes I feel like as a person, I just want people to feel happy and it is warm and comfortable. And but part of it is informed by my being an empath, but by
Mm,
my being an introvert, 100%.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
for
right. Let's
sure.
see what else we got. Oh, Lauren, speaking our language. Do not like the pressure of after work and mid work functions, forced social activities, not team building, required engagement. As an introvert, that is anathema. No, no, no. We don't want it.
Yes, yes.
We feel you. We feel you, Lauren.
We absolutely feel you. The thing is, right now, I especially for people earlier in their career, and
Mhm.
depending on people's ambitions, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm always going to be realistic.
Yeah.
That's the facts, right? And so, me personally, I call, as you all know, those of you who've been following me for a while, I call happy hours unhappy hours, right? Because I loathe them. Everything that you just said, the forced socialization, and I also don't drink, so I don't want the alcohol either. None of it. I
Mhm.
don't like any of it. I don't like any of those weird trust fall team activities. I don't like any of that. However, and this is the reality, unfortunately, um, for many corporate spaces, performing
Extroversion.
performing performing extroversion um, is unfortunately tied to your It is not
Promotion
explicitly
prospects?
stated. Sorry, to what?
Promotion prospects?
It is tied to your promotion
Your
prospects.
perception as a good team member?
As a good team member,
Uh,
as a leader, like
yeah.
I definitely have had, I've basically been told in not so many words, your work is great, but you're not extroverted enough. No, they didn't phrase it that way, right? But that essentially was it. We love you, we love your work, we love your work, we don't love your personality.
Yeah. Why don't you come to more happy hours?
Why don't you come to more happy
Right.
hours? And so why I'm saying that for people early in their career, people, depending on your ambitions, there have been times like if you want to get promoted, right? There are some sacrifices that you might have to make. But I still believe that there are ways of operating within the system that still honors your introversion. So, for example, in the happy hour case, it might mean showing up for 15 minutes and then leaving,
Yeah.
as an example,
Your
right?
face has been seen. Your
Your
face has
face,
been seen.
that's it.
You know?
You don't
Yeah.
need to stay for the 5 hours or whatever it happens to
No.
be, right? So that's just one example.
Yeah.
It might mean, let's say there are 5 team activities. It might
Yeah.
mean, okay, it might mean showing up to one of the 5,
Yeah.
but not all 5, for
Yeah.
example. So those are
Yeah.
just my thoughts around it. And what do you think is about the what I'm calling the realism
No,
aspect?
I think we live in the real world. And that is why you name the things that are going on, right?
Yeah,
There's a big difference between what you can do 3 decades into your career and what you can do in year one,
absolutely.
right? So when you're in year one, then you have to take steps to protect yourself in other ways, to give
Yeah,
yourself that space. Maybe you're forced to be extra to perform extroversion all week. So maybe Saturday mornings you see nobody. You have to find a way to make it work for you, for sure.
mhm,
I agree
mhm.
with you. And we have another question, sis.
What is it? Can you read it for
Lisa
me?
is asking, Lisa Hampton, for each of you, is your introvert a personality or is it a trait based on life experiences? And are you introverts, meaning among each other? Well,
Hmm.
see, that's a good question. One of the
You see, these are
misconceptions,
good introverted questions.
these are good introverted questions.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I have always been introverted even before I knew the language for it. When people used to say I was shy as a child, it didn't feel right to me, but I didn't know what else to call it,
Hmm.
right? When I discovered the language of introversion, I said, yes, that makes sense to me now. So I think I've always been like that. But another misconception about introverts, I mean, we talked about going out in social occasions, but
Yes.
with the right people in a one-on-one situation, people are not going to know that you are introverted. You're going to, because, if you're engaged, if it's a deep conversation, you're going to be there laughing and joking and so on. You're still
Right.
going to have to go and lie in your dark room afterwards.
Yes.
But so, yeah, I think that, that one-to-one thing makes a difference. And the
Mhm.
type of conversation makes a difference. But yeah, it's just who I am. I mean, how is it for you, sis?
Same. I think it's just who I am, who I've always been. Like you, I mean, we obviously grew up in, the same era. So there definitely nobody was talking about introversion back then. It was more like, wow, X person, Jasmine is so quiet.
Yes.
That's all that was ever said,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So we didn't have language for it. There were times when I could tell that you or I were maybe a little different than some of our peers, but not necessarily even in a bad way, just different, just a little bit
Yeah,
quieter. We
yeah,
were two of the bookworms, but we wore glasses, so we had the bookworm uniform. We were good, right?
yeah. All
And
right.
but I have always needed, and I think what confused people about me is I did a lot of um, performing when I was in my youth, when I was a child. By performing, I mean like on stage,
Mm.
theater, dance, etc., etc.
And that is why I think a lot of people have trouble believing that you are introverted, but then they didn't see what happened when you came off stage,
Oh my gosh. Let me
right?
tell you, costume off, makeup off, comfort clothing on, book.
Yes.
That's
Don't
it.
talk to me for the next
Don't
hour.
talk to me. I'm done. But the thing is, well, here's the thing, sis, right? Another part of us not realizing anything was quote unquote different is that all of us in the house are introverts. We're introverts.
Yes.
So
There are a
all of
lot of
us
introverts.
reacted the same
We've
way.
we've we've actually discovered that a lot of the people in our family are introverts.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep. Yep.
That is something to look into at some point.
Yep.
Just reading a comment here from Flying Kitten Power. Thanks for making the observation about working extra hard to be more inclusive because we know how it feels to be excluded. I do that, but I didn't realize it's common to other introverts. So, yes, well, thanks for sharing that. We, yeah, definitely something we have to think about. Okay. Then we have Lauren saying networking is so stressful. Hard
Mhm.
agree. But you can, again, you have to set your schedule in a way that allows you to have that recovery time. And you know why it's even more, because say you're out there and you want to make the best impression. If you are running on fumes, you're not going to be able to do that. I have been to conferences and I have gone to the bathroom and locked myself in a cubicle
Listen.
just to give
Yes.
myself that alone time. I have gone to get something from my room.
And then never returned.
Oh, no. I've returned. But, I give
Good
myself a
for
10-minute
you.
break.
Once I get in the room, that's it.
Oh, glad this is resonating. Roger saying I'm an ambivert, leaning extra, but I'm soaking this up. Let's see. Laverne saying, I'll take a lesson from you both and challenge myself to be more visible. Oh, here's a good question. How do introverts differentiate between introversion and avoidance? We getting some good questions here today, sis. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
How do
But
we
so, I mean,
differentiate?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you will know for yourself. We all know within ourselves when we're procrastinating and avoiding things. And we all know when the reason that we are not doing something is because we're starting to feel drained. So I think we can tell.
Yes.
I know the difference between needing to leave a room because I'm drained and needing to leave a room because I just don't want to be there.
Yes.
Right?
Or let's say you have well, this would never happen to you, sis, because you are always on time or early. But let's say you have a function to go to that you don't want to, you basically don't want to go to, right? And then you find all kinds of little things to do around your house. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely have to do, the laundry now. I have to wash this one last bowl in the sink because otherwise my whole house is going to fall apart. No, you don't have to do it right now. You just don't want to go to this event.
That's avoidance.
That is procrastination, and you know it, right? And so I would say, or procrastination, which is a symptom of avoidance, right? So I think that's one of the ways that like if you observe yourself and you're really honest, then you know when you are deliberately avoiding something. And deliberately avoiding something, I just want to say, is not necessarily a bad thing,
Oh, not at all.
right?
Not at all. You may
Avoidance
have your
avoidance can be
reasons.
necessary.
You may have your reasons. You might
Yes.
be guided to avoid something that's not going to
Yes.
turn out to be healthy for you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, let's not pathologize avoidance either.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, avoidance is not necessarily a bad thing, but
Mhm.
I definitely know, I can tell when just from knowing just basically years from knowing myself, when an action, a thought, a behavior is rooted in my introversion versus when it's rooted in avoidance. So
Yeah.
I think self-reflection can help, journaling can help, therapy can help, if you are not clear about what program is running in the background, so to speak.
Okay. This is Mitch saying, I believe it's Mitch saying, being hearing impaired and introverted view child. Yeah, definitely lots of reasons not to engage with people there.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Okay. Missy, it bothers me when people tell me to let loose. Missy was saying earlier that she's ambivert
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Okay.
to me that's similar to come out of your shell. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what if we like our shell?
Yeah. What's wrong with our shell? What
Our
is wrong
shells are
with our
beautiful.
shell?
Yes.
Yes. Vanessa saying biggest mistake people make with introverts is asking why they're quiet and putting introverts on the spot and wanting them to be more introverted, extroverted.
Extroverted.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where are we? Okay. Missy says, I wrap myself in hot blankets straight out of the dryer. Oh,
The
love it.
best. The best.
We have
And
some people.
also when you take your socks fresh out the dryer and put them on. Ooh.
Yeah. Toki saying sometimes my social battery runs out. Mine too, Toki. And
Yeah.
fast.
And but
Okay.
part of what we want to communicate is, and that's okay. It's okay if your social battery runs out. Everybody can't be the same. Everybody is not the night owl, constantly on, energizer bunny kind of a person. And those
Mhm.
people are needed in the world. And so are introverts. That's really what
Absolutely.
we want to communicate. You
And
need both.
I'm looking here at Jeanette C's comment. In some cultures, the odd ones are the loud ones, and introverts are most of society. People are
Where's
quiet,
that
and you can
culture?
have your mental space all the time. I love that.
We need to move there. Where's that culture, please? Because
All
listen, let me
right.
tell you, I am here in the US and the country, the culture as a whole
Is
is
loud.
extroverted.
Yes.
Yes, it's
Extremely
a struggle.
extroverted, extremely out there. All right, so we knew that this launch episode was going to run long. So we have two more things we want to talk about today.
Yes,
One is our segment, Quiet Minds, Loud Opinions, and we also want to
yes,
tell you what you can expect from here on out. So,
absolutely.
what should we go with first?
Let's go with let's do it in the order you said. Let's start with quiet minds, loud opinions. And
All right.
and
So,
that's
I
first of all, well, this is partly what you're going to expect, because what you're going to expect is that is going to be a recurring segment in the show, right?
yes.
Because we definitely, again, we're introverts, but we always have opinions about everything. And so
Yeah,
we will be sharing them. And
we will be
it
sharing
might
them.
be about introversion, it might not, it might just be about whatever's going on in the world at the time. And
Being
so
out
today
in the
it
world,
is,
as in today, because
what
I
is
would like to talk
what is
about
your loud opinion?
BAFTA Gate
Oh,
and the
child.
foolishness that went on there.
Mm,
Now, let me be very clear. I am not slating, um, I think his name is Mr. Robinson, for having a tick that he had no control over. I
yeah.
do, however, believe as a grown man, he could have apologized afterwards for the harm done. And he might have done by the time, by now, but it did not happen immediately after. I also don't know how the BAFTAs and the BBC could allow a recording with the N word to be broadcast when they had a couple of hours to edit the program, and they managed to edit out the Free Palestine. And they managed to edit out the homophobia, but they left in the N word,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and thirdly, if you are racialized as white and you are telling someone racialized as black how to feel about hearing the N word, mind your own damn business. Right?
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a very old Beja Calypso. Mind your own
Mind your own
business.
business.
But yes, so
Yes.
first of all, cosign and hard agree on all of that, everything that you
Yeah.
said. I also want to say, because one thing an introvert is going to do is see the layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember Prince Andrew, the artist, formerly known rather as Prince Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. Guess what people are not talking about when
Mm-hmm.
they're talking about this BAFTA thing?
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, it has come to light that the gentleman in question, right, was actually mic'd. There was a mic deliberately placed in front of him. So that was what the Bayesians would call purpose work, right?
Mm.
So exactly. So it was deliberate. Him being mic'd was deliberate. The N-word not being edited out was deliberate. But we are all talking about this as we should. Don't get me wrong. We should
Yes,
be
we
talking
should.
about it. But
But
while
we
we're
should
talking
also
about
be
this,
talking.
we're not talking about we're not talking about the files. We're not talking about the fact that, right? We're not talking about the files. We're not
Yes.
talking about who needs to be in jail. We're not talking about who needs to be impeached. We're not talking about
No,
all of that other stuff
no.
because, and I, of course, and I hope people will understand what I mean when I say this, but I feel like a deliberate distraction was created. I am not saying
Mm.
this to minimize the the hurt and the trauma and the damage of what was inflicted upon Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan and any other Black person that was subjected to having to hear that word, right? So
Because
understand
we
what I
were
am saying.
all harmed.
We were
Because
all harmed.
we were all harmed.
Multiple things can be true. So we were all harmed. They
Mhm.
especially, of course, were harmed because
Yeah.
it was in the
Hit
middle
them
of
right there in the
them.
face.
Right, it was right in their
And
face.
can I just interject
Yeah.
that calling out racism is not ableism.
Right?
Okay?
It isn't. It isn't. And let me just
Right?
tell you also another thing, right? Nobody is saying, I honestly, I have looked at multiple comments all over the internet, right?
Mhm.
Nobody is saying that the gentleman needs to apologize for his tics. Nobody
No.
is saying that,
We're saying apologize for the impact of those tics on the two Black men and the Black community. The
right?
BBC should apologize. Also, the BAFTAs people should apologize. And
Mhm.
not to anyone who might have been affected.
No,
Because,
right.
anyway, that is a sneak preview of my newsletter piece coming out next week.
Yes, yes. Sharon's anti-racism newsletter. Subscribe
Oh,
today. Okay, so, but yes. But yeah, so
yes.
there's going to be more of that because,
Neil,
you know, especially in this
smoke
time that
screen.
we're living
Yes.
in, there's
Yeah.
always some foolishness and another effort that I will not use, but you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Foolishness going on that we will probably want to comment on. And hopefully sometimes honestly it will be something positive. We hope. But
Yeah.
right now, today, it is
The
that
world
we
is the
need.
world, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Craziness,
Yes. Yes. So,
craziness. So yeah, so
quiet
sis,
minds,
tell
loud
everybody,
opinions.
quiet minds, loud opinions about everything, right?
Oh,
So right, so sis, tell the audience, our lovely, beautiful, wonderful audience, and
and
thank you
thank
again
you
for
so
being here with
much.
us. Yes, tell everyone what they can expect from the relaunched version of the Introvert Show. First of all, well, it's called the Introvert Sisters Live, so that gives them a hint. But tell them
Yes.
what else they
Yes.
can expect.
It's going to be live. It's going to, well, yes, it's going to be twice a month,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's going to be probably about 30 minutes. We allowed more for this launch episode because we knew there would be a lot to be discussed. And it will be available on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The way Lisa and I are going to do it, if we get this worked out, is that every other episode will be live on LinkedIn on one of our accounts, and then it will be on the Introvert Sisters Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
And we will be talking about all the things. We'll be talking about all things introverts and all the things introverts have opinions on, which is everything. Got anything to add?
Basically, no, that's basically it. I'm just excited to be back. You know, I'm
Yes.
excited to be back and I'm excited to be talking about this again because even in just the few years we've been away,
Yeah.
there's more introverts that have sort of like joined the world or become aware that they're introverted and need support. And here we are to be able to support them,
Offer it.
right, to offer the support that they need. And I'm just looking forward to it. And I love that we're doing it live. Of course, it's live, as Sharon said, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and then available audio only on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all of the podcast platforms.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
just looking forward to that.
Yes.
So as we begin to sign off, do you have any final thoughts to share, sis? How are you
I will. I'm just
feeling?
gonna just before I share any final thoughts, I'm just gonna go back to the chat a minute.
Yes.
Let's see. We have, hey, welcome, Dr. Joe. I didn't see you were there, but we're glad to have you with us as well. That is a question for Dr. Joe. Lisa is saying yes, anyone might have affected. Makes us question why we are not affected or offended, all affected by a purported racial slur. Yes. What do we got here? So many things to love about introverts. Oh, thank you, Evan. You notice things
Nice.
others miss. Your calmness steadies others you're safe to talk to. Okay, I love seeing introverts with people that make them come alive. Well, that's definitely, definitely see that on our show. And I'm excited to see you all do your thing. I think that might be Mitch again. Thank you, Mitch. And we're getting a lot of love in the comments. So as we
All
wrap
right.
up, thank you. We really appreciate all of you being here for our relaunch episode. It has been a joy and a privilege to be here with you. And I'm going to just say, I'm going to leave you with the closing thought. You don't have to shrink to fit a world that does not understand your depth. You do not have to shrink to fit a world that does not understand your depth. And what would you like to leave these fine folks with, sis?
I would like to leave them with introversion is not a flaw, it is a superpower.
I love it.
That is
I
it.
love it.
So, yeah, so that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our inaugural episode of the Introvert Sisters Live. And we will see you again Friday after next, in a couple of weeks, Friday after next. And in the meantime, make sure you check us out on LinkedIn and all the beautiful places. Oh, Mommy Bear showed up with a comment. Hey, Mama.
Yeah,
Mommy says,
wonderful.
I absolutely love this relaunch episode. Thanks, Mommy. Thanks for always supporting us. Yes.
All right.
So that's it, folks.
That's it, folks. See you in a couple of weeks. And thank you again. Bye.